Welcome everyone to our Hack to the Future, Hacking Through COVID finalists. I can't see all of you because of presenting in full screen, so hopefully we have people joining.
Yes, I guess we can get started.
Fantastic. All right. Thank you very much for joining us today. I'm Shelley Armstrong. I'm your VP of User Experience and Design here at Finastra, and I am the lovely Shireen's co-host today. Shireen is our Head of Innovation also at Finastra. So we are here to guide you through it. Shireen's going to be your timekeeper and make sure we're all on track. And let me introduce you to our judges. So we're very excited to have all of these people joining us today. We have Andrew Trossman, who is our VP of Innovation from the Royal Bank of Canada. We have Casey McGee, one of the Global Partners Sales from Microsoft. He's a Vice President there. We have Gabrielle Inzerillo, who is Director of Plug and Play Ventures. We have Jens Eriksson, who is Managing Director for Operations and Service Management at European Bank for Reconstruction and Development. And we have Margot Franco, our own Chief Marketing Officer from Finastra. Pierre-Olivier Bouet is the EVP of Financial Services at Capgemini. And last but certainly not least, we have Tram Anh Nguyen, co-founder of CFTE. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. We really, really appreciate your time and your expertise. This year's theme, we had three. So our 2020 themes were hacking systemic inequalities, embracing technology-enabled change, and of course, hacking through, you guessed it, COVID-19, which has really been a big deal for everyone this past year. Amazingly enough, we had 4,600 plus hackers in 100 plus countries, 4 times bigger than last year, which I'm very excited about, and top technology partners that joined us in this. We will be announcing the winners on the 27th of January, so we don't have much time before we're going to find out who is our big winner. And the prize, what we're all fighting for here, right? The prize is $5,000 from Finastra, so that will definitely go a long way in making all the effort worthwhile. So we don't have tons of time today. Each of our 10 finalists today are going to have 5 minutes. And in those 5 minutes, you need to present your concept and also leave some time for questions from our judges. Shireen is going to be our timekeeper, making sure that we give everybody a chance to showcase the wonderful work that they've been doing. And with that, I am going to dive right in and say, let's get started with FinFlo.
We have found ourselves in a global battle, with all of humankind confronting a common adversary, the modern coronavirus. The pandemic has tragically taken hundreds of thousands of lives, infected millions of individuals, and overturned the global economy. In the Philippines, the number of unemployed Filipino was estimated at 4.6 million in July 2020. Banks tightened their loan standards explicitly, thus giving the unemployed a much harder chance on acquiring loans. By developing a platform that enabled the common Filipino to acquire microloans, with minimum requirements, no collateral needed, and security. Hence, FinFlo was created. Using the latest fusion equation system, which will guarantee its functionality, established design and unwavering quality. Blockchain has been implemented to have immutable records of customer information, loan events creation, repayments, and maturity, which enables fast loan background checks for succeeding applications. Here is a brief overview of FinFlo. NGO will be used as collateral. Investors will be charged a percentage of their interest to be given to FinFlo. Loaner is a person qualified for microloan. And all transaction will be posted using FFDC to the bank, and records will be saved through blockchain to have immutable records and faster background checks for succeeding application. Let's now proceed with the demonstration. Investor profile will be shown first. Personal and investment information will now be populated. Once the investment is approved, FusionFabric.Cloud's Fusion Equation Term Deposit Onboarding API is used to create the deposit in equation. Investor can check his existing investments in this screen. He can also check the detailed interest and automatic investment schedules, if there are any, in Auto Invest Schedule section of the system. Now let's look at the client side. Customer has the convenience to scan a valid identification card, along with needed personal information here. Once the loan application is approved, FusionFabric.Cloud's Fusion Equation Loans API is used to create the loan and equation under FinFlo's account. Customer will receive a QR code instead of the actual money, and this has a specific usage. Example, grocery is defined during loan application. This will ensure that the customer is applying loan for his needs, not just for any vague reason. FusionFabric.Cloud's Fusion Equation Collateral Assignment API is then used to assign FinFlo's collateral account to this new loan. He can also check the detailed schedule of payments for his outstanding loans under Schedules section. Here are the advantages of FinFlo. FinFlo, helping those in need the digital way.
Hello, I'm Carlo Inting, QA Associate from Finastra, Manila. You may now ask your questions now.
Thank you so much. So, judges.
Yeah, hi, Carlo, it's Casey McGee here. I just had a question about what I think you were calling Fabric Flow. Is that proprietary IP that you've built, or is that leveraging other IP that has been developed to score loan qualifications?
In terms of that, we'll be leveraging the FFDC, the Fusion Fabric, that in that manner to use the posting of the values to the bank towards the end of FinFlow.
Yeah, and maybe I'll take that one because it might come for other teams as well. Fabric.Cloud is Finastra's open development platform, so lots of the teams here have been using it to integrate with some of the Finastra systems.
Yes, actually, the question I was trying to understand, and Carl, I think you've answered it, is there additional IP that you've built on top of that addresses some of the unique realities? I mean, I think the innovation there on identifying the use of the funds is really interesting. I'm just wondering if you had applied additional IP on top of that, or is it just leveraging the platform in its entirety?
It's only leveraging the platform entirely, that's all.
Hi there, just one question. I'm sorry, I apologize, Pierre. How does the investor and the loan requester know what their interest rate is in the schedule?
The interest rate will be based on the current provided for each and specific country, since each loan interest is dependent for each country. So there will, as of now, there will be no specific interest rate since we didn't specify on what grounds we'll be working on. So it will be generally based on the government's distribution regarding that.
Got it. Perfect. Thanks.
Thank you.
My question was on the QR code. How much visibility does the lender has on the QR code usage?
The QR code usage utilizes the cashless basis, since now we avoid on contacting with different people since it's COVID. So with that, we minimize the spread of COVID. Plus, it also direct payment towards the loans and utilizing the values of not paying it properly. That's all.
But the lender
Time's over. Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Thank you. And just a quick note that Carlo is joining us from Manila, where thanks a lot, Carlo, for that.
Sure, no problem.
Goodness, yes. Thank you so much to the FinFlo team. I appreciate it. We're going to move on to the CARE project. Are you guys ready?
Hello? COVID-19 has been a test for us all, revealing gaps in economic systems, the fragility of global healthcare, and underlying issues in our social structures. But there's another thing it has revealed: hope. Hope because of the bravery of healthcare workers on the front lines, because of the ingenuity of entrepreneurs inventing game-changing new technologies, because of people's kindness in rallying around those who have needed help most. This crisis has challenged our resolve, but also shown the good that underlies humanity, and that is our inspiration. We introduce to CARE, the platform for bringing the world together to help those most in need. Whether that's the senior citizen needing help with their groceries, a frontline worker looking for childcare, a student needing virtual help with their studies, or even just someone needing a bit of advice. And blockchain technologies underlying our system, and a unique currency of karma toward those who give help, revolutionizing the way we build communities. Let's show you how. Welcome to our website, where you can learn about us, our vision, who we are, and more. In particular, check out this, our factory environment, our login. Here we go. What's the first thing we see? Our post board. Folks offering and requesting help. And those karma points, they're determined by the kind of help people give. 200 for groceries, 300 for childcare. And this is interesting. Check out our profile, which, by the way, is fully responsive on the phone. What do we notice? Karma levels and a points balance, which in practice works like experience points in games, where helping others earns you points, and earning points unlocks new levels, and reaching levels gets rewards, like discounts, gift cards, prizes, and more in the future. And how do posts work? You create a post by clicking this tab. See your replies to the chat that's connected to email. Or you can check out other people's posts. Use this button here to reply to those in need. Now what happens to my karma? Here's a gift from someone I just helped, and a note for what that help had meant to them. Now let's say there's expenses incurred in helping. Our platform even has the ability to use Finastra's technology to send money to others on our platform. This is what we mean by sharing. Kindness is not something to be spent, but rather something to be spread. And here's our vision. What you saw so far is our V1, built over 3 weeks and just to start. V2 includes our mobile app, so that care is available to all wherever and whenever there is need. And then V3 for next year. This is where the business case develops, where what we imagine is the creation of customized care communities where groups like unis, workplaces, nursing homes, and others create internal care systems just for their members. And this is where we need you. Care has been a passion project for an incredible team with dozens of years experience in coding, design, business, and more. And in the last few days, we've had 3 Canadian universities want to pilot care for specifically their student communities. And this is where Finastra's mentorship in the field of blockchain, especially to make a fintech concept like Karma Points real, can go so far. We so appreciate this opportunity to hack, and to end, we just have one final message.
Thank you, frontliners.
All right, thank you so much. Who do we have on the line to answer questions from our judges?
Chitangshu, are you on the line?
Yeah, I'm here, yes. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, sorry, I thought you meant from the judges who want to ask questions.
Sorry. So judges, do you have questions?
I'd be happy to kick it off. My question is a little bit about the use of blockchain in this solution. Why is it, I guess, necessary? And why do you see it's an integral part of the solution?
You know, Gabrielle, this is interesting because I think the potential for blockchain hasn't really been tapped. Because we've kind of looked at blockchain as, like in currency in the standard form in terms of, goods and services, those transactions. I think what we're trying to identify is that when you're participating in community events or when you're helping other people, those are transactions too. And even if it's not like something gets maybe translatable into cash in traditional sense, there's still points there that can perhaps be valuable, especially as with our universities, we're getting them on board to, let's say, that you can get like bookstore discounts or things like that. And when you have those transactions, there's a question of how do you manage those transactions? We have the data table, we've got our general ledger. How do you manage that ledger? And so we felt, working with our CTO, that blockchain was maybe an ideal platform to do it, especially because we're talking about a community platform which is serving community, and so having that opportunity to have that verification across community is super valuable. So I really think it's this is a little bit different from traditional fintech, but I think this is where the potential blockchain is just being tapped with a concept like this.
All right, thank you. I think I can say on behalf of all the judges that we're way past the whole blockchain is just crypto stage.
For sure, 100%. And I think there's just so much potential, right? There's it's like an iceberg of potential, and I think this is like an interesting use case that we're exploring right now.
Can I just ask, how would you commercialize this?
Yeah, so working with our university clients, I think what's been very attractive, this is why we made the B2B play, is basically they have a vested interest in creating student communities. The students drop out. I dropped out of university because of reasons around social isolation and not having support networks. And so they are have a vested interest in this. We've been talking with business models with them. We're looking at a $2 to $5 per student play for every
backend is actually been more advanced now, where there's a bit of enterprise play as well to help manage certain transactions, like certain community transactions. And so that's where the potential is. So when we do our market calculations about the 3.5 billion market overall with other internal communities, 220 million just for universities, as $2 to $5 per student that we're kind of talking with our clients about. We're not trying to
interrupt you, sorry about that, but the time is over.
Absolutely. Thank you, Shireen. Thank you, everyone, so much.
Thank you so much for the CARE team. I appreciate your timeliness. And we are going to pass the torch over to the iGive team.
In 2017, there were 689 million people living on less than $1.90 a day, and many of those people who had barely escaped extreme poverty could be forced back by the convergence of COVID-19, conflict, and climate change. But financial instability has become a reality for more than just those on the poverty line. Many people who would otherwise be willing to donate currently feel they can't afford to or find it difficult to find trustworthy causes. Introducing iGive, a mobile application that connects those willing to make a difference to projects that can change the world. Donate small, manageable amounts to causes you care about and easily manage all of your donations in one place. When new users sign up, they can select topics that are important to them. They can also add preferences, such as showing local organizations or prioritizing matched donations. Setting up a way to pay is quick and easy. A quick app tour lets them see the impact of their contributions, new projects to support, how to set up a new donation, seeing their latest donations, and their user profile. Users set up small, reoccurring donations activated by a trigger they choose, whether it be every time they use their credit card or anytime they buy a coffee. Roundup mode will round up the price of their purchase to the nearest dollar and donate the difference. Or they can choose to donate a set amount at any given time. Once the mode of donation is decided, they are redirected to their banking account, leveraging the Salt Edge open banking platform. With a simple click, the bank is authorized to make the payment using PSD2 APIs, and the donation is complete. Donations can be viewed by charities or transactions, and from there, the tax form for tax return purposes is available for download. At any time, updates are available from the charities about the impact they're making, and the opportunity to give is always just a click away. Visit our GitHub repository and see how iGive can change the world.
Hi everyone, this is Liu Xin from Finastra Paris office. Nice to meet you.
Hello, everyone. If you hear a snoring dog, I apologize. That's not me. But judges, you have a question.
I have a quick question just about the various charities' capability to take the kind of what are ultimately micro donations. Is that something that's kind of pre-built, or is it something you'd have to kind of negotiate with each of the charities?
Now we just select 60 charities from 9 categories all over the world. We have high standards to select charities because you see we need the charities that have used to update how much they collect this kind of information. And most charities, they don't have this. So what the information we have collected from WHO, United Nations, like big organized, and they have an IBAN on top of it. And we can automate their email as a text form like I showed in the video. Yes.
Super. Thank you.
Thank you.
Could I sneak a quick one in there? How do you see the tax forms working out? Do you think that's actually feasible in, with different countries?
Yeah, yes, we did a research, like the WHO one, I really did a $50 donation, but it's only feasible for US residents. So in our menu, we don't have that time to show. So if you only show the local organization and prioritize the tax refund, you can only see that in your region, you can get tax refund. Like Notre Dame, the fire, the incident, you can only get tax refund in France, not in US. So, okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions from our judges?
I have one. Really it's a great idea. I see something similar. I must say I was I see something similar with Epic Foundation, who also wants to, link the charity with the donors. Are you targeting B2C or B2B?
So from the collaboration side, we are targeting B2B mainly because we are not getting money from B2C, from the individual customer. So we have a commercial model, so two-way. One is to work with a corporate CSR project. Like you always see the big name on United Nations, but nobody will go to the United Nations website to see it. But if we are a mobile bank app, especially millennials, they can share their certificate in the social media, and you can see, oh, is Microsoft sponsor that? You donate $20, and Microsoft donate $20. And another business model is like we can see many bank or like PayPal, this payment application, they want to have an in-app menu like this donation, so we can charge an annual license integration fee with the bank to go to charge to make revenue. Yes.
Thanks a lot, Eugene. The time is over.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Now, next up, we have the Bulkos team.
India is home to 60 million small businesses, and they have been fighting for survival after the coronavirus outbreak. My father was one among them. He was running an offline store for the last 50 years, and his shop was shut due to a series of lockdowns, leading to a situation where his monthly income came to a halt. There were no online platforms that were secure and could offer B2B capabilities along with banking prospects. That's when we decided to build Bulkos, an AI-enabled platform that brings manufacturers, sellers, customers, and banks all at one place. As of today, we have hundreds of sellers and manufacturers along with 4 local banks integrated with our solution, offering credit purchases and zero manual effort. We are proud to solve the problems of today and thrive to build a better tomorrow by creating an inclusive marketplace. This is not the journey of technology or internet, this is a journey of Bulkos, empowering my father and thousands of users like him who are finding new ways every day to change their lives and of those around them.
All right, thank you very much. Do we have questions from our judges?
I think we still have a couple of slides to be shared by Anush about Bulkos. Are you on the line, Anush? We can see your
Sorry,
screen.
I was on mute. Sorry. Yeah. So I am online and I have cleared my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, great. Thank you. So the vision behind this whole project is basically to inspire, enable, and empower the businesses using technology in the most simplest ways. And that's where we focus the tier 2 and tier 3 markets. The landscape of India, we have 1.3 billion population as of today, and there are 1.2 million manufacturers, 60 million small businesses, and 91 commercial banks. And the current scale that we have achieved is 800 small businesses are already onboarded. We have created 100 plus jobs. 4 banks are already integrated, and we have just started with a minimal fund of $10K to achieve the scale. And we have successfully done 3,000 plus B2B transactions, and we aim to scale all across the world after the India scale is achieved. The competitive advantage that we have is not just the technology, but also the proprietary algorithms that we have created, which are plug and play. They use AI as one of the modern technologies. They are scalable, and we consider the user as a holistic user. And not just this, we also focused on hacking through COVID-19, where we have payments which are contactless. We have credit purchases which we give to the sellers and different users. We have KYC verification and end-to-end B2B automation, and we have integrated banks to give bank loans. And this can be something which can be easily mappable to the Finastra's products like trade finance and bunch of other APIs that we have. As far as scale and sustenance is concerned, we have plans of scaling across tier 2 and tier 3 cities all across India. The total addressable market for P2P globally by 2027 is $20 trillion, and total addressable market for B2B in India by 2027 is $200 billion. And that is where we look for $200K so that we can go ahead and scale to 6 cities across India in next 1 year, and hence take our product to the next level across different countries of the world. Open for questions.
Judges?
We've got 2 minutes for questions.
Do you have any details of the 800 retailers that are onboarded? Like, what kinds of things do they do, and can we see it?
Yeah, sure. So these 800,000 these 800 sellers who are already registered, they are mostly from the textile and the leather background because India is the huge producer of that. But because there was COVID and a lot of their shops were not categorized under essential categories, that is where they were shut. And the moment we launched this product, a lot of people came onboarded, and we have these 800 users already on board. Maybe we can send an email after this presentation to show you these 800 users and the categories that they have been involved on.
Thanks.
Can you be clearer about the business model? So who is paying Bulkus? The banks, the seller, the user?
So this application and this product is basically for sellers, manufacturers, and customers, and banks are one of the integrated platforms. So because we have the B2B market, we are concentrating mostly on the B2B market. So banks are here to provide the credit purchases, the loans to the sellers and the customers, while the sellers and the customers can go ahead and list their products, do the payments online, contactless. So the banks are basically integral part to achieve banking and the credit part of it, which is very, very equivalent to the trade finance product of Finastra.
But how do you make money? Sorry, if I have a follow-up question. So who is paying Bulkus? Is it the bank or is it the users?
Okay, so how we make money from each transaction that we make. So every transaction we have a commission for 5 to 6%. And every transaction which is related to the bank as well as the seller, we have the commission on that.
Time is over. Thanks a lot, Anush.
Right. Well, thank you so much to the Bulkus team. We're moving on now to look at vServe, verified services. Are you guys ready to go?
Hi, everyone. We are Team vServe. During this pandemic, the whole world was locked down. At this time when somebody is in need of an emergency admin services like a plumber or an electrician, when all these services were frozen and did not know whom to contact in their close circle. And there is always a fear of letting a stranger into your house. So how can we find a trusted service provider in our close vicinity? That was the inspiration for us to think of a solution to address this fear, and the solution is vServe. What does vServe do? vServe partners with the FFTC banks and credit unions to create a pool of verified service providers. How does vServe work? Any service provider with a legible bank account can request for their identity verification through the vServe platform. vServe validates these information by cross-matching with the FFTC KYC API and are then made available to the public based on their location. Now to talk about the financials, vServe is a highly cost-effective solution that can help the solopreneurs in finding businesses during this turbulent time. On the other hand, the banks will have new customers and their cash inflow increases. vServe is powered by Angular 11 on the front end, and the back-end web API is driven by the .NET Core, FFTC APIs, and SQL Server. Now let's see a quick demo of vServe. This is the vServe platform. Any user can search for services here. A service provider with a legible bank account can request for verification for their services to get listed in the vServe platform. He need to fill the service provider registration form. Here we are being proactive in capturing the COVID vaccination details while registration, so as to ensure a safer pool of resources in this era, and the risk clearance form and submit. This is the admin dashboard. The admin can pick the new request. The system will automatically verify or reject a request by cross-matching the customer-given information with the FFTC KYC API and the risk clearance info. Now the admin can either verify or reject the information for a manual confirmation. A verified user can post a job opening. This is a service rejected due to the mismatch in identity verification. This information will be globally available to all users in this search option. Once logged in, the user will be able to provide feedback and ratings for a service provider, which will help the other consumers to make their choices better. You can give your feedback here. This will be a solution relevant even in post-COVID era, to help the society, especially the ailing community, to find safe and verified services, and also fraud prevention to an extent. So let's hold our hands together to help each other. Thank you.
Thank you
And
very much.
we've got a bit more than 2 minutes for questions. Do we have any line call?
Hi there. I just have one question. How do you, I guess, monetize the value from KYC in the banks? Like, how are you making money? Is it a service fee for the providers?
Do we have our representative from vServe? Mute.
Anila, are you on the call?
I don't think we have anyone from vServe with us today. All right.
Hello. Hi. I was there. I think there was something wrong. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Yes, we do hear you. Yeah.
Yes, I was explaining once a service is being taken, along with the payment mode that we are going to design the next phase, we will be taking the transaction fee. So that's how we are trying to monetize it.
Great, thank you. Is there other questions from our judges? No? I think we're good. So, Shireen, shall we move on to our next? We have now.
Yeah.
We now have.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for
Thanks
joining.
a lot, Anila. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, judges.
All right, so we're now moving on to FinSmartLend.
Hello, my name is Prathomit and I am from Finastra's retail banking team. Here I am presenting our hackathon idea, FinSmartLend, on behalf of my team. The problem we are trying to solve is related to digital lending in COVID times. Financials of individuals are impacted, and as a result, this has changed the dynamics and processes in loan origination. There are two challenges that we are focusing on. In current times, there are job losses and pay cuts. So can borrowers still repay their existing loans? And now, how difficult it is for banks to forecast a repayment stress or a defaulting risk. As all previous correlations are broken, we still have processes in the loan origination journey which are semi-automated, like verification of income documents to arrive at loan decisioning. These are time-taking for customers and not cost-effective for lender banks, especially in current times. So what if we could have a digital cash flow analysis as an alternative, which would provide more real-time insights to a customer's current financial status? We are hacking through COVID to address these challenges. Let's see how. At FinSmartLend, we are using PSD2 as our innovation fuel. Combining loan requests with the PSD2 account monitoring consent from customers and using FFDC open banking APIs plus our FFDC partner Saltage, we are doing a digital cash flow analysis during loan decisioning by analyzing customers' recent transactions. And next, we are using the same PSD2 account monitoring consent post-loan disbursement as well to enable banks to proactively monitor stress or defaulting risks in loan repayment account in a real-time way. FinSmartLend is an FFDC app through which Jason Manford, a customer, is making a loan application for personal loans for a defined amount and a tenure of 24 months. For loan decisioning, instead of a time-taking process to upload and verify documents, Jason provides PSD2 consent to connect his multiple bank accounts. FinSmartLend does a real-time cash flow analysis from his accounts and transactions to determine his loan eligibility instantly, all using Saltage data enrichment APIs and AI. Jason's loan account is created using FFDC APIs into Finastra's core banking system. Post his loan disbursement, Jason has been repaying his loan EMIs, but he suddenly loses his job after 3 months. Quite a common scenario in COVID time. Post loan disbursement, we are innovatively making use of account monitoring consent and Power BI's predictive analytics to help bank continuously monitor and forecast stress factors in loan repayment accounts. The solution is built using Fusion Fabric.cloud open banking APIs connected to Fusion Essence and PSD2 partner Saltage.
Do we have Pritimet? Hello.
Hey, hi Shireen. Hello everyone. Hope you can hear me loud and clear.
We can, yes. Thank you so much. I'll turn
Thanks,
it over.
ready for questions.
The questions from our judges.
Okay, quick question from me, Jens here. Is this just a prototype, or is any sort of customers using this at the moment?
No, this is just a prototype that we developed for Hack to the Future. So we used Power Apps to develop the prototype and our FFDC platform APIs and some of our PSD2 partners like Saltage.
Yeah.
Have you tested the customer's appetite to give access to all their accounts for you to be able to do the full cash flow analysis?
Not right now, since it is just a prototype, but yes, we have analyzed the PSD2, how it is opening opportunities for more open banking, right? Even for any payments or even for any other monitoring consent. Also, generally, yes, the customers more in European region, they have the appetite for giving the PSD2 consent. But yes, this is something new that we are trying out as an innovation.
Time is over. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Perfect timing. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We're moving on to neural payments integration. Well, that's fun. All right, Shireen, I'm not sure what technical difficulties we're having here, but definitely
Mick, there is an issue with your audio. We hear some sound, weird sound being repeated. So maybe we can give you some time to fix that, and we can move on to the next team and come back to you later. We still have the same issue here. So I'm muting you as we are not able really to hear you. We have this strange sound.
So why don't, as you said, why don't we keep going, and then we'll save some time at the end, and hopefully those issues will be resolved and we can watch the demo.
Yeah, so we'll go last with you, Mick. No worries. We'll just get back to you a bit later.
Okay, so for our endemic team, hopefully you guys are ready to go, and you're up. Let's see the concept.
Can you see my screen, guys?
We can.
We see.
And you can hear me?
Yes.
And there is no techno beat behind, so I'm going to start right away. Okay, so COVID-19 has completely changed our world, right? It has disrupted our way of living and forced us into new habits. But how can business and population adapt to new public safety concerns? Well, some apps try to solve this by doing contact tracing, but they did not tackle human flow of convenience and the natural fear of government oversight. Yet the data is out there with the increase of testing all around the world. So how can we get back to do what we love while preventing the spread? Well, that's where Endemic come in place. We have an easy-to-use open API leveraging the #1 financial platform in the world to centralize and simplify all integration, a best practice anonymous contact tracing using QR codes, secure data storage, and a 14-day time to live for the data, and then ready-to-use templates for business and social cultural places. Now, how does it work? You'll have a business or a social gathering place that would buy one of Endemic's state-of-the-art UI templates. This will help them by providing both payment, ticketing, and tracing all in one place. They can also simply call our free API to enable centralized tracing. Then we would enrich this data with contributors such as government, hospital, and other sources. Now, when a restaurant is aware of a case, it can notify all the customers in real time, thanks to Endemic app. So let's have a look at how it's looking in real life. So you're at a restaurant and you scan our QR code, okay? The business or social gathering place would buy one of Endemic's state-of-the-art UI templates, and this will help them by providing everything in one place. Now, the item would be coming directly, allow them to choose the menu and find the food that they want and pay directly there. Now, in order to pay, you would need to put your email information and put and everything right there. Now, what happens if someone gets COVID in the restaurant? Well, you would instantly receive an email with all the information on what needs to be done over there. But if until we get all the data connected, you can also use the app to self-report your testing over there. So basically, in a nutshell, Endemic helps on 3 aspects. One, on the human aspect by providing a convenient experience to consumers, allowing them safe return to business and to all cultural and social places that we need and love and desperately want to go again. A technical side to simplify integration and usage for our API to centralize data tracing, and a safe business aspect because we will never sell the data. The data will stay 14 days and get trashed after. The way we make money is by selling templates to help small businesses, and this at a very small cost. So let's do well by doing good. We do have a 2-year roadmap that I'm not going to cover right away, but COVID might go away in the near future, you might say. But the requirement for sanitary protocol and swift action are here to stay. We learned in the past that we took too long to adapt. Endemic will make sure we're ready for the next crisis. Now, I'm ready for any question from the judges.
We've got 2 minutes for questions.
And if you need inspiration, I have a little FAQ as well.
So judges, any questions for Pierre?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, do you feel like maybe the use case is too small it's very, very, very specific?
So that's a very good question. Indeed, we could think that, oh, it's only restaurant, but the idea is that any kind of social gathering place needs this kind of approach, right? So being able to use this QR code and our algorithm to track the people could be used in many places. Think about in a big city like New York or even Mumbai in India or any big city, you could have QR code that can be scanned in different places. So you can track in real time and know exactly when people or where they would be impacted. This is much broader than just a restaurant. This is really API for contact tracing. Think about museums as well.
So my question on that is how do you expect to get notified of illnesses? So it's one thing to trace who was around, but how will you actually get that notification other than the goodness of their hearts?
Yeah, so that's also a very good point. I'm going to give you an answer depending on the area and the location. If you think in France, for example, the laboratory do have this data available and QR code that can be scanned from there. So what we want is help them to simply integrate with our Open API and FFDC, and maybe help them to do that, to send the data over there, right? To send the existing data. We could also have existing application. If you think about All COVID or the New York State COVID application, those can directly integrate with OpenAPI as well to share the data. The goal here is to find a way to centralize because we have a lot of different places and there is no simple API to integrate all of this in one place. Does that answer your question?
Well, there's the privacy issues, as you can imagine. But anyways, cool.
Hands over. Thanks a lot, Pierre.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Okay, now we're going to move on to the Wishtree team.
$140 million orphan, 8 million lives in care home.
Finastra CSR supports orphan kids across the globe. COVID-19 triggered the transformation of everything to virtual. Wishtree 2020 going for digital. Welcome to Wishtree. Due to COVID-19 restrictions, Trivandrum's CSR team was struggling to conduct Wishtree project during the Christmas 2020. We researched over the internet to find an online application, but we couldn't find anything. So we designed an online application cloud-based solution to conduct Wishtree. Persona-based use cases we identified: CSR admin, NGO user, Finastra employee. This is the workflow of Wishtree. So it's pretty simple. NGO will register the system, the admin will authorize based on background verification and then enable the account. Then the NGO can add wishes and again CSR Wishtree admin will verify the wishes and approve and it go for public. Finastra employees can start picking the wishes and they can order the gift online using e-commerce platform Amazon, Flipkart, etc. Let us have a look at the value proposition and impacts. Wishtree is a simplified solution, globally applicable workflow. It can increase employee engagement. It can extend to Vista portfolio companies and also technology partnership with other NGOs. Piloted Wishtree at Finastra Trivandrum India site, partnered with 4 NGOs, 141 kids wishes. Also, we are planning to implement for 3 more Finastra sites. Quick demo of Wishtree, NGO user persona. Wishtree admin persona. Finastra employee or gift sponsor persona.
Okay, thank you so much. Do we have our representative from Wishtree team available for questions? Shireen, do we know who we're expecting? Unfortunately, I don't have.
Do we have Abhilash? I can see you on the call. You're on mute, Abhilash. Yeah. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
All right, there we are. So do we have questions from our judges for the Wishtree team?
Abhilash, there were some technical issues with maybe to give a quick overview to the judges. Might be difficult for them to.
You want to play again? Hello, I can hear you, Shri.
Yes. Do you want to give a quick overview to the judges about your project in addition to the video?
Yeah, Wishtree actually a project runs by the Finastra Trivandrum India
location. So we collect wishes from different childcare and we distribute the wishes across Finastra employees, and employees can and they can fulfill the wish, whatever it can be. It can be a toy, it can be clothes board, it can be anything kind of. They can a smartwatch, so they can order from Amazon or the kind of e-commerce platform and send it or ship it to the NGO kids address, so they'll be getting that. So that is the physical system. We automated the system during the last Christmas time. Due to COVID restrictions, we couldn't visit any NGO or childcare homes. So collected everything online and distributed among our employees working in virtual world.
So any questions from our judges after the overview? No? Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate it. Let's see. Are we ready to move on to mobile ATM?
Hi. Thanks everyone for taking the time to watch our project demo. For this year's Finastra Hackathon, our team has decided to build an app to embrace technology-enabled change, especially during this time of crisis. We believe this project will solve some of the pain points when withdrawing money at the ATM machines, especially in developing countries where there is no sufficient number of ATM machines available to supply a great demand of cash withdrawals. Here are some of the pain points from one of our members who have experienced this in his city, Manila, in the Philippines. Long queues at the ATM machines. ATM machines running out of cash by the time it's his turn. ATMs being out of service, which is absolutely a bad customer experience. Openness to change due to culture. And, of course, added cost. Our team used these pain points to inspire us to come up with an app to make cash withdrawal easier and create a path for implementing e-payments in developing countries. Our solution is this mobile ATM app where users will be able to order cash just as they would order a ride using mobile app and agree to just a small percentage for the service or convenience and without the need to go to the ATM machine. Here's a walkthrough of the MVPs we've built for this project for you to better understand our solution and aim to provide a great value and customer experience. And now I'm going to pass things off to my colleague Vic, who will go through the features.
We have built an Android app for the demo. We have two users, buyer who is the one in need of cash, and seller who will provide the cash. Let's log in as a buyer using his email and password. After successful login, you will see your available wallet balance. Now let's log in as well to the seller's account. After successful logged in, let's just go back to the buyer screen. To request a cash, simply input the cash amount you need and hit search. On the next screen, you will see your current location in the map and the available sellers near you. Pick one of the available sellers and click request. This will send a notification to the seller about the request. In this demo, seller will accept the request and can now start his journey towards the buyer. As soon as he has arrived at the buyer's location, he will click Arrive button. Buyer will just confirm that the seller has arrived and will just scan buyer's QR code to complete the transaction. Seller will get notified of the amount of commission fee he will get from this transaction. That's it. We have a few more features that we need to build on after this first iteration, like security, onboarding, and registration, but we'd like to thank you for watching our video presentation.
do we have Vicente in the call?
Hi. I'm Vicente from Finastra, Manila. I'm representing our team, Mobile ATM. Yeah.
Thank you, Vicente. Do we have questions from our judges?
A quick question. Is the idea that once you meet this seller, they actually give you cash? Is that the idea?
That's correct. Yeah. They'll give you the cash, and then we'll implement the feature wherein you can scan the money just to make sure that it's not fake. And then we'll also implement the security feature wherein we can hold the requested money from buyer's wallet just in case, from buyer's wallet just in case they run away with the money. So, and then we have support team to validate that in case we have reports that they're like fraud transaction. So those are kind of security features that we're going to implement to make sure that we get something out of it. Yeah. So you can only request money if you have enough money in your wallet account. So yeah.
And how do you get money in your wallet? By connecting?
By topping up using your bank account details.
Okay.
So you have to use, yeah.
Time is over. Thanks a lot, Vicente. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
It's almost 1 a.m. your time. Thank you.
Yeah,
so much.
yeah. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. And I think we've got Mick now from Neural Payments.
Hopefully I have solved my audio problem.
Amazing. You do not sound like a robot anymore.
Perfect. I'll take it. I'm going to jump right in. So we took the power of what we created at Neural Payments, which was a company founded by a few MIT grads in 2020, and added it to Fusion Fabric to really create a disruptive P2P service that for Finastra clients can be turned on in approximately 45 days. We actually think it can be done in less than 30 days, but that's probably just me being overly optimistic. So what does Neural Payments do? Well, Neural Payments chose to disrupt P2P by creating an accessible service for community banks and credit unions here in the US that doesn't just ride traditional rails. It doesn't necessarily send data to big banks or do any of those things. It actually leverages what a lot of people want to use, which is PayPal and Venmo. So it's a hybrid network that allows on-us transactions when both institutions are a part of Neural Payments. And when we don't know the user, we leverage PayPal and Venmo to help complete most of those transactions. And then the leftover transactions can ride the traditional rails of a money send or OCT. What we did for this POC, though, is we worked with the product team here at Finastra and leveraged FFDC to really integrate both to the front end and the back end. And so what this allows for is basically a turn-on campaign and a very simple back office implementation for a bank or credit union that chooses to use it. Our settlement process is a line item on an existing report. All the data we need, we can get via FFDC. And eventually, with some of the newer APIs you guys are finishing up with good funds, debits, and credits, we can actually lower the cost even more of a given transaction, although our current process works in real time and is rather low fee in and of itself. So the power is really that on us looks the same as off us. And so in this example, although for time I won't play the video, an on-us transaction literally is just a recipient name, an amount, an account, and some type of message if you want with emojis. And in both instances, the sender and receiver will get a real-time notification that the money was sent within their existing mobile banking application provided via Malazai. On the off-us chance, what will happen is the off-network user will get an email or a text message which will notify them that whatever bank or credit union is really the branding for it, is going to send them a message and that they can pick up that money how they choose. And so it's literally 3 clicks, 4 if you count the email, but on a text notification, it's 3 clicks. 1 to look at the message, 1 to say what service you want to use, and 1 to accept the funds. Well, and what does this ultimately do? Well, it really does democratize P2P here in the US, allowing for one system that connects to all the other systems. So it's low cost to implement. We have decreased fraud because there's not an extra app. There's no entering of card information or exposing personal information. That's what the Fusion Fabric integration gave us. We removed card fees, so our transactions are lower. And then our network size is as big, if not bigger than anything in market, because we combine PayPal plus Venmo, plus our existing network, plus money sent and OCT for any leftovers. And then the final piece is it's all about the brand, meaning the bank and the credit union. So we really want to promote that this is a powered by service. They shouldn't know who Neural Payments is. They should know who their local bank or credit union is. And that's what gets us excited. Huge thanks to the team from Finastra that helped us, Milind and Arunima and Rajeshwari, and then the Neural Payments team, AJ, Daniel, that helped put together not only a POC, but we actually are working our way into production right now for the Mal's IP. So very excited. Questions?
We've got 1 minute for questions.
Oh, Margaret, I think you're on mute.
Oh, I was just shaking my head. No questions here. Great pitch. Thanks.
What's the neural aspect?
Well, the idea was, well, one, we had a brain surgeon that was helping us in the original team at MIT, and so that was a fun kind of homage to him. But also the idea is that we connect to multiple networks. So although we connected to PayPal and Venmo, we're working on Square Cash now. We have other networks that we would like to connect to kind of say, hey, it shouldn't matter for your members, your customers at the bank or the credit union, how the person wants to receive the money. That's a big part of that conversation. And so by giving them, hey, you just put in a phone number and the amount and we'll get the money to them, we believe that it drives that usage back into the banking apps, which is what these credit unions and banks desire.
And time is over. Thank you. Thanks,
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. I will share my screen really briefly here because I know we're out of time and just wrap this up. For now, I just wanted to remind everybody that the winners will be announced on the 27th of January. You can vote for your preferred app very easily from our fusionfabric.cloud site or with this lovely colorful QR code. I want to thank all of our judges for taking the time out of their busy schedules, and I want to thank our participants for coming to this meeting in all of your different time zones. I know that's not easy. And let me just say, may the odds be ever in your favor, and we'll see who wins. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Have a